So last time we talked about a time from the past when Branson was 1 and Cooper was 2.5 years old, and we got Cooper to stop peeing the bed at night, and also talked about dealing with my 1-year-old at that time. So today we're going to backtrack again to a very interesting time when Branson was young, when I was only catching the morning pee or poop, and how difficult that can be if this is your first time doing EC, maybe that's you, and how it can make you really want to quit, but how we got through it. And also, as I've been helping hundreds of thousands of parents all over the world and also my own 5 children, I know that this is part of the process for some babies, and we just stick with it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we did and what you can do if this happens to you. And even if you just can't figure out anything else to do with EC, today's episode is going to talk about what you can do at the bare minimum to use this as an exposure technique so that you maybe don't have to potty train later on, like I didn't have to, or if you do have to potty train, it'll be a lot easier. So you can read the full written version of this episode over at godiaperfree.com/205. Find it on the blog. It's called Why I'm Only Catching the Morning Pee or Poo Lately. So let's dive right in. This was back in December of 2017. So this is actually a little bit before last week's episode's topic. And yes, Andrea Olson has had a potty pause. Newsflash, it doesn't only happen to people who have never done this before. It happens to me, who probably knows more about the topic than anyone else in the world right now. I would say that going through this potty pause was my first time with all of my kids. He is my, fourth baby out of 5. I'm pregnant with number 6, so he'll be in the middle still. And yeah, we were going through an elimination communication potty pause at that time. And what that means is a time when 2 or more weeks have passed and you have not caught a thing. Your baby's resisting. They are literally making it very, very hard to even go near the toilet or the bathroom, and you're kind of freaking out inside. That's a potty pause. In the potty training world, it's called a potty strike. So it's different here because this is just part of the process sometimes. And if you go do the show notes, you'll see a link to an article on potty pauses. And it's called When EC Stops Working, How to Address an EC Potty Pause. And we also talk about the part in my book on potty pauses in that section. I talk about how sometimes it's part of the process. So that's kind of what we're going to demonstrate today. And I'm going to read it as if it's happening back then. So let's get in the time machine, backtrack about 5 years. We are going through an elimination communication potty pause. Yes, yours truly, Andrea Olson, Queen of Infant Potty Training, also has potty pauses. But I am catching the morning pee and poop if I'm lucky. This is what Branson, 10 months, looks like on the toilet right after he wakes up. So there's a photograph. You'll see it over on the show notes. And he's super happy, willing, engaged, and he is pottying. Then he gives a very common poop signal, which is staring off into space. How many of you guys have that one? So I caught a picture of that. Aha. To my very trained potty eye, he is about to do something. Sure enough, next up is the infamous baby poop face, the one that looks kind of like this, where they're just bearing down and turning red. Yes, there's a photo of that on the show notes as well. And here comes the big push. So if your baby does this while they're in a diaper, anybody who's like never done EC before out there, if you've ever seen your baby do this while in a diaper, gently say wait and transport to the toilet. 9 times out of 10, a baby, not necessarily a toddler, but a baby will finish on the toilet. Just a little tip there. And this, folks, is our one catch of the day lately. Dun, dun, dun. And most of you would probably quit by this time. You'd be like, okay, this doesn't work. So why the potty pause? Well, often babies have a potty pause, which means they resist the potty or won't go on it, but only in the diaper backup for days, weeks, or months on end, because they are about to reach a developmental milestone. About to being the key term. My baby, well, he is working very hard on 2 new teeth, and he's working very hard on this, and the photo shows him climbing up the stairs. And he is just about ready to walk. How it feels for me to be in a pause? Well, since I know, because I've studied it, and if you've read my book, you too have studied it, I know that a pause precedes a developmental leap. I am relaxed about it, and this is important, to be relaxed. I know that EC is not ruined, that all is not lost, that we will be back on track once B is done with all the big work he's doing. And I am savoring our one catch of the day, practicing major gratitude for that one for sure. As I do this, guess what? Magically, day by day, hour by hour, I am catching more and more. Our pause has lasted a total of 2 weeks so far. We've caught 1 to 5 pees or poops a day, had a ton of misses, some in the diaper, some absolute disasters on the floor. Remind me to share that story. And we've kept on keeping on. After 4 babies, we know that this is just part of the process, and we stay the course. So here's what I plan to do next. And these are the key points for you guys tuning in today, 5 years later. In light of the pause, here's my current plan, what I'm doing to get through this pause with flying colors. Number 1 of 4, I am staying the course. I will not stop doing EC. I will do the 4 easy catches and nothing extra, but anything extra is bonus. This is what we do. The diaper is not a toilet, it is a backup, and it is the perfect tool for a potty pause. And again, if you guys didn't know, the 4 easy catches are every wake up, every sign of a poop, every diaper change, whether they go or not, doesn't matter, and before going in and out of something. So I continue to do it with the 4 easy catches only. Number 2 part of the plan, I am switching to cloth during the day. I've been lax using disposables, and he is beginning to not mind peeing in them. Guys, this is a red flag when they start to not mind peeing in them. That's when you're supposed to take them away. Therefore, we will return to daytime cloth diapers next week in preparation for the upcoming transition to a fully walking baby. Number 3 of our plan. So number 1 was staying the course. Number 2 is switching to cloth. Number 3, once he's walking, I will begin teaching him the potty process. I will teach movement to the potty, more sign language like potty or go or whatever you choose, how to push his pants down, how to mount the potty, how to get on it and off of it, and get into a solid routine during every transition time that makes sense. And you can learn more of that through a link to my mini course on Wrap Up, which goes over all that. But yeah, once your child starts walking, you can start teaching the potty process. Number 4, I'm also providing lots of privacy. And you guys, I have been talking about this so much for the last few months because it's been working for you guys. When we go to the toilet, I busy myself with other things and I place him on the toilet seat reducer. And I've got it linked to the one that I use, the Ginsey one, to ensure he doesn't escape. So I set him on the big toilet seat reducer, busy myself with other things. I am close by in case he jumps. Use caution. I'm not responsible for your baby. You are. But usually with my baby, this particular one, turning my back for just a moment gives him the privacy he needs to relax and pee and poop. And Cooper, my next oldest, needed me to be exactly 10 feet away. So go figure. Twyla needed me to be right next to her, touching distance. So every baby is a little different, but giving privacy was point number 4. And I would suggest the same to you. If everything has fallen off, all the wheels have fallen off, and you're just like, I don't think we're catching, we're just doing terribly. Everything was great, and now everything is like, eh. Stay the course, switch to cloth. When they're walking, teach the potty process, and I would say remove the diapers and provide privacy. And I have to tell you, the other thing that I did, so he was 10 and a half months at this time. At 12 months, I actually took him out of diapers because with Cooper, I waited a little while longer, even though he wasn't pooping in them. And I would say with Cooper, that was a mistake. It became more difficult to do stuff without diapers as a backup. He liked them. So with Branson, a month and a half after I wrote this post, I actually took him out of diapers and put him into tiny trainers or tiny undies during the day. And I was terrified, you guys. I was like, there's no way. He doesn't seem like he's there yet. And I don't feel there yet. And I'm busy. I have 4 kids and 2 businesses. I'm like, what? He's peeing in his diaper. I'm hardly catching anything still. What happened was magic, you guys. He actually rose to the occasion and we were like totally synced up. And he was fairly dry most of the time. And we just worked on point 3 here, teaching the potty process because he started walking. I took off the diapers. No more daytime diapers except for nap and nighttime. And he was great. So it's a little more to that update. So if you, my dear listener and watcher, if you are going through a potty pause, check out my mini course on potty pauses. It's uber helpful and covers exactly what I recommend in much more detail, but not too much detail because we don't have time for that, right? I would also do the 4 things that I'm currently doing, and I would take heart. Trust the process and know that this is part of it. And in that, I linked to episode 23 of my podcast. GoDiaperFree.com/23 will get you there. It's called Potty Pauses, a Refreshing New Perspective. And it really means that you are about to round the corner and be wrapping it up. I mean, literally, I had 2 months' notice from Branson that he was ready to go. So, are you in a potty pause? If so, what are you going to do differently based on what you've read in this post, listened to in this podcast, watched in this video? And if you aren't in a potty pause, have you been in the past? And do you have any additional tips that I didn't cover that helped you get through it? Please comment or let me know. Either on all the socials, or you can go to goodhyperfree.com/205, which is where the full transcript of this. And in case you weren't good at taking notes, I got everything right there. Also got some resources to recommend. Getting EC back on track is another mini course. Potty time mastery will help you know when to potty. And you might as well just get the whole bundle of all of them. And then we do have the new programs that are based on ages, newborns, mobile babies, and young toddlers. So if you're in a pause in any of these age ranges, it would be very helpful to get the deep dive program that is very, very, very in depth on only your age range. And you can check out all of that at goodhyperfree.com/store, where I have everything you could possibly need to do this. At the very least, definitely check out the rest of the podcast. Leave a comment over on iTunes. Let us know what you think. And I want to hear from you in the comments. We can't wait. We love responding to these. And since I posted this 5 years ago, I already have 27 comments there that we've responded to. And I'd love to have 27 more. So I'll see you over there. goodhyperfree.com/205. And if you're going through a pause, just trust the process and hang in there. Babies grow up so fast, and you're going to someday be like, oh my gosh, this is not a baby anymore. She's like a teenager. And I was so stressed out about that one little thing. And that's all it was. So just remember, it's very, very fast. This isn't the end of the world, and you're going to be fine. And hopefully today's lesson has helped you to get past what you're facing right now. All right, you guys, take care.